So I'd like to introduce, after that rowdy start, I would love to introduce our practitioner for tonight, Deborah Perdue, who is going to provide us with a great invocation and a few minutes of meditation. Deborah.
Okay. So I am absolutely knowing the presence within us and all around us, guiding us on this almost New Year's Eve service. I feel the love, the peace, the harmony, the serenity, and the joy that is with us tonight, overflowing in each of our hearts, in my heart. I am so thankful for the teachings of Ernest Holmes, for the Grants Pass CSL, for Nan's inspired ministry, and for each person here. I'm so grateful for a new year coming, sure to be filled with rich blessings and magic and all good. And so it is. So let's spend the next few minutes in meditation together. I invite you to take some deep and slow in and out breaths as we go deeper within. Really relax and let any concerns or worries just drift away. Bring to mind something new that you would like to experience in 2021. It could be a way of handling life differently, or it could be a brand new something. Whatever it is for you, let your imagination be free to picture what it is you would like to embrace in the new year. Let's go into the silence as you envision the new that you are inviting in. Now spend a minute or so really seeing and feeling the joy of this new beginning already here. Let it be wrapped up like a gift and let yourself receive it. Thank God for receiving it in advance. Feel the gratitude fill you up. Feel your heart full with love and peace and joy. And let's just stay here for another minute or so, and then I will bring us out. And when you're ready, slowly and gently, bring your consciousness back to the here and now. Open your eyes and maybe stretch a little. Welcome back, my friends.
Thank you for that wonderful time, that wonderful invocation and the meditation of something new. It is so wonderful to have everyone here tonight on this next to the last day of the year. And this is our last Wednesday night service of 2020, but it won't be our final one. We will be continuing the Wednesday night services through January, and I am so blessed to share this time with you. I hope you enjoyed that old throwback video of the Loving Spoonful performing on Ed Sullivan over 50 years ago. It's hard to believe that it was that long ago, but it was. And as you know, one of the things that I enjoy most is starting our time together with some non-traditional music. And I just had to do the video tonight and play that song so that we could, if you can see it on your screen, we could watch the colors change on the video because it's moved around and switched through the various parts of the song. You know, Back in that day, it was a really big deal that colors could change. It was real TV magic, especially with the puppy that appeared in the middle of the screen there. Nowadays, special effects are beyond the beyond. They have morphed into virtual reality scenarios that are beyond comprehension at times. And what we used to consider magical is mundane. Yet spirit is far from mundane. And if we consider that everything that we experience now is from the infinite intelligence of the mind of God, well, who knows what the next innovations will be. Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing more creativity of the divine mind in our world. I can only imagine what there can be. The real question is this, though. How do we receive and celebrate the magic, the miraculous, that is the presence of the infinite at work in our lives, in our world? Well, Ernest Holmes states, the door which has held our mentality in prison for all these years is at this very moment open, and we are free to claim all the liberty we can enjoy. But we, as individuals, must make the move for ourselves. No one else can make it for us. No one else can grow for us. We must grow in knowledge ourselves. That statement, the door which has held your mentality in prison, reminds me of an ancient work by Plato called The Allegory of the Cave. Now, Plato was a very early philosopher who wanted to know the nature of divinity as the essence of all life. And in this story, Plato describes prisoners being held in a cave, bound to their chairs, and the only thing they can see are the shadows on the wall in front of them, which is the back of the cave. The shadows come from the light of the cave in the opening that is behind them, but they can't see that opening. They are only faced in a single direction and have no idea there is anything behind them. Their perceived absolute reality is the shadows on the wall. That's what they know as their world and their life. And as the story goes, when the chairs are turned towards the opening of the cave, their whole world changes because now they see the opening, sunlight outside, and all manner of life thriving beyond the entrance. Now, their reality is completely shifted. They are freed from their perceived bonds and venture into this new, greater reality. In actuality, they were never bound. They only knew what was in front of them. And until they made the choice to turn around, they thought the shadows on the wall were the real world, dark, scary, and not easily seen and identified. Those shadows on the wall of that cave that Plato spoke of are reflections of a conditional world that appears to be all that there is. How many of us live life facing the wall, seeing only the shadows and thinking they are the reality of our lives? Well, here's the good news. And you know by now that I love to bring good news every week. We can always choose to turn around, see the opening, and get ready to live and celebrate life to the fullest. What a concept, huh? Dr. Holmes also writes, let me tell you, there is a secret to life, and we have discovered it. There is a simplicity coordinating all philosophies and religions, and we have discovered it. There is a sweetness and a song and a joy that the light of heaven itself shall cast its glow on the pathway of our own experience. Live always with enthusiasm. We exist so life may operate through us and express itself in us. We proclaim the divine presence as infinite joy, beauty, and wisdom, and have gratitude for it. We know that the law of good is infinite in its capacity and willing to create anything that is good. Now that's where the real magic in our life takes place, when we recognize that we live, move, and have our being in the infinite. that the presence that created us resides as our divine essence within us and all around us. And moreover, the power of the universe, the same power that created all that is, that keeps the planets and galaxies moving in a cosmic dance that we don't even comprehend, is ours to use for good in our lives and in this world. As Dr. Holmes stated, deep within us, in the living well springs of our being, within our souls shines an eternal light. As we turn towards that divine light within, that mystic light envelops everything we contact, heals and blesses everything we touch. As we embark upon this new year 2021, I invite you to embrace your spirituality, live in awe and awareness of the presence of the infinite within you and everywhere. And I will leave you here with Dr. Holmes' definition of spirituality. Spirituality is our recognition of the universe as a living presence of good, truth, beauty, peace, power, love, happiness, joy, enthusiasm, and universal harmony, which, like the great rhythm of life, flows through everything. In this new year, remember the words of the song, "The magic's in the music and the music's in me," and open to the music of your spirituality. Feel the great rhythm of life and recognize all of those gifts of spirit as you celebrate the magic in your life every day. And so it is. And so now we have our offertory. Actually, I'm going to say a prayer about my message. So I just want to bring to mind that infinite loving presence that we know as that divine intelligence. I bring it to the forefront of our minds right now, whatever you call it, however you identify it. Just take a moment and connect with that peaceful presence. And knowing that it is in, through, and as each of us, and that we are infinitely connected through the warp and weft of the universe that is the ultimate source of all life, all creation. I speak a word right here, right now, for a new year, for a year filled with love, for a year filled with health, with harmony, with ease, for a year filled with the grace of all good flowing through every life, flowing through all creation, and for the revelation of healing through the revelation of the eternal love of the One, as it becomes known and recognized as a wave that ripples out from each of us to everyone everywhere. And I speak a word of thanks for all those who are working on the front lines of healthcare, for emergency responders, for people who have the emptiness and the loss of individuals that have been made their transition through this time of pandemic. I know that the hearts that are heavy are supported in the light of the One. And I speak a word of ease and grace for all individuals anywhere who have asked for prayer, knowing that all prayers are answered. And as I bring this word into the light, I simply give great, great thanks. For I know that as I release this right now into the law of mind, it always says, yes, my beloveds, yes. And so it is. Amen. And now we will do our offertory. So I have to just get this here. And so I just want to say that we are so very grateful for all the gifts that everyone has so generously supplied for the center through the last few months. And ever since the pandemic started, we continue to operate. We continue to be able to serve our community like this. And I just want to offer gratitude to everyone for their ongoing support of our center. So I know that as we take our gifts in our hands and symbolically hold them to our heart and bless them, I'm just going to say this abundance prosperity affirmation. I'm going to flip it up here so that it'll go on your screen. I celebrate the abundance in my life as I share with love. So if you'd like to say that again with me, let's do this, because I understand it doesn't stay there very long. Whoops. I celebrate the abundance in my life as I share with love. And so knowing that these gifts are from the love of pure spirit, I bless them. I give great thanks for them. And I know that they go forth to heal and prosper everyone, everywhere, and return to each of us so resplendent with joy and love. And so it is. And now, usually we do an inclusivity ceremony. And tonight, since tomorrow is World Day of Peace, for those of you who were on the meditation this morning, this will be a rerun. However, I think it bears repeating. So Deborah, would you like to light our candle tonight? And as Deborah lights our candle, I'm going to read Dr. Ernest Holmes' prayer for world peace that I think is really, really appropriate at this time in our lives. I know there is but one mind, which is the mind of God, in which all people live and move and have their being. And I just have to comment that we see that beautiful candle burning in peace behind Deborah. I know there is a divine pattern for humanity, and within this pattern, there is infinite harmony and peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness. I know that the mind of humankind, being one with the mind of God, shall discover the method, the way, and the means best fitted to permit the flow of divine love between individuals and nations. Thus, harmony, peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness are experienced by all. I know there will be a free interchange of ideas, of cultures, of spiritual concepts, of ethics, of educational systems and scientific discoveries, for all good belongs to all alike. I know that because divine mind has created us all, we are bound together in one infinite and perfect unity. I know that all people in all nations will remain individual, but unified for the common purpose of promoting peace, happiness, harmony, and prosperity. And I know that deep within each person, the divine pattern of perfect peace is already implanted. I now declare that in each person and in leaders of thought everywhere, this divine pattern moves into action and form to the end that all nations and all people will live together in peace, harmony, and prosperity forever. And so it is. So just contemplating that peace, I just invite us to place our hands over our hearts. and to connect with that pattern that is implanted in us, that pattern of divine peace and love. And just allow that peace that surpasses all understanding to fill your heart center. And as you breathe in every in-breath, that peace expands within you. And as you exhale, that peace flows out into your hands to overflowing. And with every in-breath, that peace expands in exponentially, larger, greater, the stillness, the beauty, the ease, until it overflows as you exhale and spills out again into your hands. And taking your hands and cupping them in front of your chest, just allow that peace to overflow from the center of your being. And as is our custom, we will rub our hands together. 1, 2, 3, allowing that peace to become generated. And now we go whoosh. And that peace goes out into our homes, our neighborhoods, our communities, into our country, around the globe, and out into the cosmos and beyond the beyond of the infinite. And so it is.